Hey YouTube, how you doing? It's Andrew again. Thanks for coming through. This is another late night thought. I know I have the car running and everything, and yeah, I just got home from where running some missions on set and helping out with some people in private lessons. So I just had some things that I wanted to talk about today, and thank you for coming through. I appreciate the likes and all the love and everything, and we're just gonna keep on going with the concepts and the ideas because a lot of people really love it and appreciate it. Okay, so today's video topic would be about faking it until you make it and unlocking that syndrome, right? It's not a syndrome, but it's unlocking it, right? And understanding who to become with just the right amount of balance and right amount of confidence, right? You don't want to do too much, and we're going to get into the details of that. Okay. And um have you ever felt like a fraud, like at any moment someone's going to find out you're not as capable as you think? That feeling has a name, and it's imposter syndrome. But if I told you there was a way to turn it around and turn your feeling success, would you believe me? And what I'm getting at with this video, I'm just gonna give you some pointers on. Let's talk about it. Just fake it till you make it, and we'll go more in depth about it. So let's talk about section part number one. So I have all my notes over here. The power of perception, right? And I'm just going to read this real quick, and then I'm going to give you a little story. Okay, people believe that what they see people believe what they see. If you present yourself as confident and capable even when you're still learning, it opens up doors. Faking it isn't about lying, it's about projecting the best version of yourself while you grow into it. Okay, so think about it. Have you ever dressed for the job you wanted? That's not faking it. Actually, that is faking it, and it works, right? So yeah, no, there's a lot of jobs in my way when I was coming up as a performer or as a coach or as an athlete that I actually had to wear that hat or that dress or that outfit for, right? And when I say dress, I don't mean like a dress, I mean like uniform, right? Or that outfit, that fatigue or whatever it was, right? So that's pretty much it. Like anytime that you are like, if you go and if you get a job interview right now, you wouldn't go to a job interview with slippers and your hair messed up and like a greased up shirt with tears on it and like jeans that are completely messed up. You wouldn't do that. That wouldn't be favorable for yourself. So you got to start thinking about, like, when you start going to these places that you want to be known as somebody, as a professional, you've got to look like a professional. And if you don't look like a professional, they better already know you as somebody in the industry as that could completely has no flaws in what they do. Like they are the go-to pro. That's the only time that you can really get away with looking like a mess or not being presentable or not having any self-care or any kind of that, like, lower end kind of stuff, right? But if you're really trying to like make yourself the best you could be, especially if you're in the come up, you want to look like an athlete, or I'm sorry, you want to look like a pro, and you want to like move like a pro. And just study it, look online and see who the people that influence mass amounts of the public are, and it'll show you. Like, I know a lot of people, they're huge football, soccer fans, and they carry themselves like they're Messi or Ronaldinho or Ronaldo, or they'll just carry themselves like just certain individuals, right? So they'll embrace the type of characteristic, and they'll reflect that, and then they'll move like that. They'll have that embodiment. They'll keep their head high, and they'll move with pride, and they'll move with confidence. Okay, so that's the first note. So every entrepreneur, artist, and leader you admired has, sorry, we're going to section number two now. Okay, so learning by doing. Okay, so a lot of times when you're seeing a lot of these performers out there, a lot of people that are doing stuff, when we started guerrilla style. Like, we were terrified to even let the camera record, especially when I'm doing this series in the raw form on the YouTube line with everybody. I'm kind of nervous, to be honest with you, because I'm very old school in my ways, but I'm also very new school in my spirit and soul. So I just like to embrace a little bit of both of the worlds, and I find that by doing that, learning and doing, and sharing the knowledge, sharing the experience, and sharing the enthusiasm and the joy to life, then you realize that you can really go far with a lot of people, right? With those connections. Okay, so saying yes before you feel ready is one of the fastest ways to grow. When you fake it, you push yourself into situations that force you to adapt and learn. Okay, that's not fraud, and that's courage. Okay, so that's just something to keep in mind. It's a little bit of courage. Don't If it's way beyond your skill level, don't think you could take the job. If it's just outside of your skill level, you could take the job. Okay, try to take the job. Take the job. Okay, but if it's way beyond your skill level, don't do it. If you know you can't ride, like in my world and stunts, if you know you've never ridden a wire before, don't take the job on the wire. Unless it's like really simple or super light. But like a lot of times they leave the job for people that do wire work, for the people that have wire work experience, right? People that have fire experience, they mostly do most of the fire work, etc., right? So that goes to all departments and all different businesses. Okay, so every entrepreneur, artist, or leader, I know this speech sounds familiar, I started off kind of botched, but it's okay, you admired has stepped into roles they didn't feel prepared for. It's the only way to level up. Okay, so everybody that you've seen that has ever done anything in the history of art, entertainment, music, entrepreneurship, engineering, exploration, science, anything that you can imagine, anything that has a history or documentations of something, it was somebody that went out and explored, right? They started learning by doing things. And that's why, by nature, we are hunter gatherers and explorers, right? We go out, we find things, we make things happen. And that's just how it works in our society and in our culture as people. Over the centuries, we may have been a little bit detached with eating with utensils and walking with shoes and wearing so many layers of clothes, but that's just how we evolved as human beings. But at the end of the day, we've never broken the habit of doing. Like if you really want to do something, you'll get up and you'll partake in that activity until it's completed, right? So get into the habit of doing and believing in it. Know that once it's wrapped or whatever it's done that you're doing, that you've completed it and you can move on to the next. All right, so let's go into point number 3: overcoming imposter syndrome. Okay, here's the thing: imposter syndrome thrives on self doubt. But when you combine faking it with action and consistency, intentional action, you turn your doubt into confidence. You stop feeling like a fraud and frog. You stop feeling like a fraud and start becoming the real deal. And that's the thing. Like, when I started out in my career, I had confidence in my experience as a young athlete, being a martial artist and breaking boards, and just having that awareness, self-awareness and self-belief to know that I had it, right? So when I started like pursuing flips and then it eventually led to stunts, I didn't really have to evolve too much. I had to evolve, yes, greatly and exponentially. I had to learn, and I'm still learning now. Don't get it twisted. But changing that lane, it wasn't such a difficult transfer, that there wasn't such a traffic jam for me to find my way through. For a lot of people, it's a huge traffic jam. I see a lot of people, they try to shift into stunts after going into all these other random careers. And if they don't look the role, or if their bodies aren't fitting that style that they need, or if they aren't in the community as consistently as possible, or if they aren't making that effort to train or post or do whatever they could, it's over. It's like, you become the imposter. So in order not to be imposter, you have to stay consistent. You have to you have to validate your consistency. You have to show people that, yo, I can do any and everything. It doesn't matter. You want me to hit the ground? You want me to use a weapon? What type of weapon? Automatic, semi-automatic, hand shot. You want me to use a throw? Whatever. You want me to use a swing weapon? You want me to use whatever it is. Fencing style, short and sealed, katana based, sheath and blade, whatever it is, So uh, people wouldn't question it. That's why every time I practice with my weapons, or every time I practice my forms or my acrobatics or my tricks or my stunts, or if I'm on set, I post it now. Every time I'm coaching people, I post it now, because I don't want anybody to ever question my validity, especially in like 20 years from now, when I build up thousands of these videos, because I plan on having 100 videos per season. That's my goal. So for every 96 days, I want to be able to pump out 100 videos. That's about 10 to 15 minutes that has good value and good content in it. And I think I could create a lot of I could conceptually design some good content for you guys, and just like write down some ideas and share some life experiences with everybody. Okay, so yeah. uh faking it till you make it isn't about pretending. Okay, it's about believing in the person you're becoming. So step into the role, put in the work, and trust the process, and you've got this, right? So uh yeah, you have to step into the role. If you're gonna plan on, like, if you see the shoes, you're like, if you see the shoes and you want to go and fill those shoes, you have to be prepared to think that I have to either be as good as this person, I have to be better than this person, or I have to completely eradicate this person's existence. Okay, and we're getting back into the hyper competitive mind state now. So I want you to think that. I want you to think I will, every time that I'm competing with somebody, or any time that I'm going out and I'm getting something, I'm eradicating their existence. I am the number one go-to person. I am the top dog. That's how I want you to think from now on. I want you to think I am the top dog. Because if you don't think that I am the top dog, if you don't act like I am the top dog, if you don't train and post like you are the top dog, nobody would ever believe it. People are going to look at you and question everything you do. And the last thing you want people to do is question who you are, question any kind of validity, question your training, question your certification, question your timing. A lot of us, man, we put in over our whole lifetime, 20 plus years, 30 plus years, 10 plus years, whatever it is. Some of us are prodigies. Some of us are trained for it. But at the end of the day, this is about not just faking it till you make it. This is about showing people that sorry, I grabbed an empty bottle. Showing people that you're the real deal. It's all about being the real deal. And that's what I really want you guys to understand. It's about being the real deal, and nobody could take that away from you. Like, once it's out in the universe and you've shown, like, especially in your channels and your social media, that you are this person, this is what you do, this is what you specialize in, people would honestly just hire you off of your social media. So get that documented into your system. Understand the importance that imposter syndrome isn't really a bad thing. It's just, if you don't act accordingly, it becomes a bad thing. If you go online and say, yo, I'm the greatest wrestler in the world, and you don't ever have a wrestling video and you've never gone to any wrestling training facilities, people are going to laugh at you. Wrestlers are not going to respect you. So if you're going to say, yo, I'm going to be the greatest wrestler in the world, go to those wrestling facilities. Get the love and the respect and the admiration you need from those people. Those people, look, when you're dealing with people that take hard hits and people that are going literally theatrical, no cuts, going out there, acting and saying their thing and doing their things, I got a lot of love for respect for wrestlers, by the way. If any wrestlers are watching for this, I love you and I respect you so much. But back on the topic, you know what I mean? Like, if you show up to their departments and you earn their respect and you earn their trust and you earn their validity, your life will just change. So that goes to everything. If you want to become a race car driver, if you want to become the greatest hairstylist in the world, it could be anything. Okay, so let's just go over the 3 points one more time. Okay, so the very first thing was section 1, the power of perception, how people see you, how people perceive you. If people see you and they see like a pristine, extreme looking person, and your talent is 60% of what they see, but it's good enough to fulfill and accept what they are, there's room for growth, and that's courage. If you are perceived as 100% and you show up and you are only capable for 20% and people know it, you are faking it till you make it, and you're coming off inauthentic, and you might ruin your actual credibility permanently in your life. So that's something to keep in mind. Understand the pendulum. Okay, so the power of perception. In my career, what I did is I looked like a bum. I looked completely like a hobo with torn up jeans, torn up gear, everything. Because everything looking rusted down. But people didn't know I trained 20 years in martial arts, and I trained 10 years in acrobatics, and I trained XYZ in 10 years. And so my resume is pretty elaborate. So it's not how I look for me. I'm one of those guys, I could show up to the gym now. It doesn't matter how I look. It all matters how I train, or what I can orchestrate or choreograph or coordinate. People will come to it no matter what, right? So that's why I want you to start a YouTube channel and start creating something like these, okay? So the power of perception is important. Learning by doing was number 2. We have to understand learning by doing, okay? Learning by doing is very important. You cannot learn how to edit your own videos if you aren't editing your own videos. You cannot learn how to confidently speak to the microphone if you aren't confidently speaking to the microphone consistently. Is that fair to say? Right. I know for the first probably like 100 videos that I make of these, I'd be lucky if I get 100 views each. But I'm getting the experience. I'm getting the confidence. I'm getting the delivery I need. I'm getting the flow and the tempo that I need. I'm getting the way that I could talk to somebody, okay? Like, I haven't really talked to somebody at this level in a long time. But now that I know that the camera is somebody that I could talk to, it's charming in a way. Okay, so practice, get your practice in. People would know it. People would feel it. People would realize that, oh my gosh, this person's actually for real. And they'll trust that. And as you grow and build a brand and you build yourself as an individual, your word of mouth would get you the job. Word of mouth will get you the job. Let me say that again. Word of mouth will get you the job, okay? And the third one is overcoming imposter syndrome, right? So stop feeling like a fraud and start becoming the real deal. Become the real deal. The only way you overcome imposter syndrome is by practicing, by posting, by showing the world, and by not breaking that habit. Being consistent. Be consistent with everything you do. I'm consistent right now with these YouTube videos. They're the raw, uncut version of these videos. Normally, I would have had like a little intro and a little outro and all this little stuff, banners and this and that, editing and music in the background. But I realized that with these raw videos, people appreciate them more. People understand who I am. Could understand how to voice their opinions and their own comments, and they could leave their stories, and then I could be more enlightened and be more inspired to think about cool more videos to always post. But I think I have about like 75 ideas in mind about videos to post, and it's just going to all involve about like just personal growth and momentum in your life. So anyway, thank you so much for your time, and I really appreciate it. I love each and every one of you. Just think over those 3 different concepts, and really believe in starting this YouTube journey with me and build those channels. Remember, you just need 10 to 20 minute long videos, post consistently, talk about your life, talk about money, talk about momentum, inspiration. Those 3 things are really good for YouTube, and it'll help you build a great connection and community. Okay, so thank you very much. I appreciate each and every one of you. I love you so much. Be safe, be good, and don't worry, you're not a fake. You're only a fake if you don't follow through. So follow through. Take care.